Okay, welcome back to Study Ball. I know last week was a full defensive week. I hope it didn't wear you out. Always like good, solid defense, kind of throw a wrinkle in things there. But you guys know I'm an offensive guy, so I love offense. So this week as we're moving through the NFC South, we've been the Saints, we've gone through Tampa Bay, now we're going to the Atlanta Falcons. And this week, I'm not going to focus on their defense at all, so I'm giving you a reprieve. Last week was all defense, no defense this week. We're focusing on their offense because different defense coordinator Dan Quinn's gone, so don't really know what their defense is going to look like. So we are going to focus on their offense. And their offense, what we know is their main man, one of the greatest receivers that we've ever seen in our game, and Julio Jones, is gone to Tennessee. So now what will this offense look like moving forward? So I started to dive into the last 4 games last year when Julio Jones wasn't playing to get an idea of what they might look like. Unfortunately, I only got through 2 weeks because there was so much good stuff in there that gave me a good idea of what they were going to be that I just stuck on these 2 games. But to me, the key for this team is going to be, Matt Ryan. You'll see this week. We got a really good tape from Matt Ryan to start the week, and then we've got a questionable tape from Matt Ryan later in the week. And I've seen this over and over again. I'm a big Matt Ryan fan because he makes so many big-time throws. He's got them to a Super Bowl. He's won an MVP. We know he can do those things. But then every once in a while, you'll find things, and I shouldn't even say every once in a while. Numerous times throughout games, you'll find, okay, what is he doing there? What is he thinking there? Why is he late on that one? And those are the kind of plays that end up costing this team over and over again. So this first tape today, we are focusing on Matt Ryan and specifically Calvin Ridley. I believe he is a big-time #1 receiver. They're not going to have a huge drop-off there from where Julio was to where Calvin Ridley is. Now, Julio had Calvin Ridley as a #2 guy. Who's going to be that #2 guy for Calvin Ridley in this offense? That's going to be a big question. Kyle Pitts, maybe with that tight end, maybe he's a difference maker, and some of these other guys will have to step up. But I'm not worried about Calvin Ridley at all. The first 2 games that I looked at, the 2 games that we're going to talk about, man, he had 26 targets and 18 catches in those 2 games when there was no Julio Jones and he became the main man. I expect a lot more of that this year from Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley. Okay, so this tape, as we said, is a combination to show you Matt Ryan and when Matt Ryan is at his best and what he's able to do. Hard play action right here. Really just a 2-3-man route. You're going to see this deep comeback or deep out here. And this is one of the teams, and maybe the only team in the league, that will run these comebacks deeper than everyone else. When you have a Julio Jones that can get down the field, instead of running a lot of things, their deep routes around the league are usually around 18, 20 at the deepest. You'll see oftentimes this Atlanta team run their deep portion of the field at 22 yards, 23 yards, because these guys have such great speed and can get down the field, and it puts a whole bunch of pressure on the defense because nobody else runs anything past 20 yards. You're expecting it to be a deep pass at that point, up and over. So you'll see right here, we're going to get down the field. Let's go back and measure this. So the ball's on the 25. Let's see where Calvin Ridley breaks on this one. Right, you see it. He's almost, well, he is. He's at the 50-yard line. It's a 25-yard out route. Nobody runs a 25-yard out route. Great throw and timing by Matt Ryan to put it on the money, even with outside leverage on the corner. Big-time throw, big-time route. This is where these 2 guys can be difference makers. They can move Calvin Ridley around. That's the other beautiful thing, is he's not stuck just on the outside, one side or the other, where it's easy to take him away. We're going to move him around. We can put him to the inside, and he can make plays on the inside very much like Julio Jones did. So now we're going to give a little stutter. You saw the stutter on the deep out. Now he's going to give a little stutter. Now he's going to run that deep over with the shallow coming right here. Again, you're going to see a great second level throw up over the top. Nice read. Get this guy down, clearing everything else out. Big window. Second level throw, Matt Ryan. MVP Matt Ryan right here. This is the kind of throws that he made over and over again when they went to the Super Bowl and he won the MVP. All right. Instead of where's Waldo, where's Calvin? All right, we're trying to find Calvin. Where's he at? He's now in this situation in a tight alignment here, so it's tough to get up and press him. got that speed down the field. Nice little hesitation. Matt does a great job here. He's looking, eyes over here to try to draw that free safety over here. Little stutter there. You're going to see the speed off of the stutter. Gets up over the top. Matt just a little bit late on this throw. Needed to get up a little bit earlier. Allows the defensive back to get there just at the last second and knock that thing away. But you see the kind of explosiveness that these two guys have, specifically Calvin Ridley. Here he is up top on the outside. Once again, a lot of times they can load up the box, 2 tight ends, 2 backs, couple receiver routes. You can see at the big end, a little stem to the outside, and that's the stuff I love. Calvin Ridley, even though he's young in his career, you see all these little nuances, the little hesitations we've seen on the last 2 plays. This one, he's going to push up, start to attack outside like he's running a go route, never to the point where he gets outside and on the toes of this guy so he can't cross his face, but he's going to widen him. Then he's going to run it in. He's going to save a lot of space. He's going to force that defensive back wide. You see that little widen right there? And now he turns the corner and leaves a whole bunch of space for Matt Ryan to make that throw. Just got to make that catch. Not going to see him drop too many of those, but those are things you can't have when you're the main guy. You got to be able to make those catches. Love this. He's just down here on the bottom. Simple little slant route, but you see the speed and how defensive backs are scared of him. Come off, gives that hard step to the outside. Boom, crosses a face. Now you catch it. Now you have that speed and run after catch. This is a quick little slant that goes for 14 yards. Love it when your guys can do that. All right, the second game that I looked at against the Bucs. Now you see it. Here's really good Matt Ryan trying to come out here, throw the flats. It's covered. Now we're coming to the shallow. It's covered. We're going to get all the way back here to Calvin Ridley on what I call an influence post, deep over. And here I love it. Another part about the route running. He gets inside, then he's going to push vertical. When he pushes vertical, it does 2 things. It holds off this defensive back outside, so he can't just run across the field and stay right on his back. And when he pushes vertical, it holds this safety up, forces this safety to get depth. Now he's able to cross both of them, create some separation. And once again, Matt Ryan working all the way backside, right? He went, once again, freeze it here. 1, 2, he came back here 3, and up top 4 to make that second level throw. You don't have many guys in the league that are going to be doing this. So we still see why Atlanta decided to stay with Matt Ryan. He's got that big time ability still to make those throws. We just have to get it on a consistent basis. Right here, hard play action. We're trying to fool everybody. We've got a deep corner route here. It's covered. You're going to see Matt come all the way backside. Once again, Calvin Ridley working his deep comeback back to the backside. Really a 2-man route. Matt does a nice job. See the arm strength. Put it to the outside. Not really sure why the defensive back's going all the way to the back of the end zone, but push. Now we're going to separate and come back down. Catch it, tap the toes, get ourselves a touchdown. These 2 guys are going to be fun to watch. Really, really a big fan of Calvin Ridley and the way that he runs his routes. Here's another deep route here. You'll see this route. I guess it's about 20 yards right here, but the hard play action. Matt steps up around the pressure, gets his feet reset right there. The guy hanging on his back shoulder, able to make that second level throw in between 2 defenders. Another big play. And again, remember, these are all in 2 games. 2 games last year down the stretch with no Julio Jones. This is what you got from these 2 guys. Matt Ryan, pressure coming on him. Shaq's right in his face. Stands in there, delivers a great route. Look at this. Up and over the corner before the safety can get there on the boundary. I mean, don't tell me Matt Ryan can't play anymore and he can't make these throws. To me, it's more about the decision-making on a consistent basis that's going to determine what kind of season they have and if he can get back to MVP-type form. Love this one right here. Inside again, Calvin Ridley running that influence post. Really good route. Matt Ryan understanding we got a low player on the backside. Quarterbacks watch this. I've got a whole session on this in Studyball on my QB Confidential platform, but always eyeing what's happened on the backside when you have one of these influence posts. If you get man-to-man and this guy stays down and stays locked into somebody down here, this is a huge play over and over again because you've got so much space to throw them into. Matt Ryan does a nice job here of understanding that, coming off the play fake, finding it backside, and driving it. Calvin Ridley, again, intelligence of Calvin Ridley. He's making his break right here. He could fall up the field, knows this guy's deep, and this guy gets back into play. Instead, he's going to flatten this off and say it's a guaranteed win. I know I've got all this space between the safety. I know this guy's outside of me. I can run away from him. I'm going to flatten it, make myself friendly to the quarterback, make it an easy completion, give me space, and now I'll do something with it after the catch. Man, really, really good player. Going to be fun to watch these guys next year. Okay? Julio Jones, gone. Calvin Ridley, we just showed it. Really, really good player. He is definitely a number one receiver, but who's going to step up and be that next guy? Got a couple guys. Hayden Hurst was a nice addition for them last year. You're going to see a nice little play right here. Good read by Matt Ryan. Okay, we're going to have two defenders over here. This guy's going to match to the flat. I'm going to get this guy to hold just enough on the hook. We're going to run the skinny post right here. Watch this throw. Holds the safety, makes sure he stays in the middle, comes off, rips this throw, only place he can put it, boom, touchdown. Nice throw. Again, you're seeing big time throws by Matt Ryan. When he's on time, when he's seeing it, he can still make those kinds of plays that made him an MVP. All right, that was Hayden Hurst. Now we got Russell Gage. So you got Calvin Ridley down here, got Gage up top, a little bit inconsistent, but definitely has some ability. Going to have to be a big-time playmaker for him, something that Matt Ryan does well off the play action. Stick that back foot in the ground and drive it. Boom. Nice little route. Be flat, beat the safety, second level throw. Really, really good stuff, but they're going to need those kind of plays from their secondary receivers if they're going to have a good year, especially in that division. All right, so if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, you should be excited after watching that tape. Yes, I know no Julio Jones, a little bit depressed here in the offseason, but you've got a guy that can make big-time plays for you down the field and can replace Julio Jones to some degree. You don't replace Hall of Famers very often, but this guy can really, really play, and he showed it last year when Julio Jones wasn't in there. And then Matt Ryan. I know a lot of people were down on him. You know, what kind of player is he going to be? Does he still have enough left? Well, that shows you he's got enough left. That was second-level throw after second-level throw, chunk throw, down the field. He can still make those throws. So there still should be a lot of excitement about this offense and what they're capable of because of their quarterback, because they have a top-flight number one receiver. Now it's going to fall to those secondary players, Hayden Hurst, Russell Gage, Kyle Pitts. Can those guys step up and truly become quality number 2 and number 3 receivers for Matt Ryan? If so, this could be a really, really dangerous offense. Okay, that's it for this session. Later in the week, we're going to take a look at Matt Ryan again. And some of the things that really give me concerns is that I just need more consistency there from him if they're going to have a chance to compete in this really, really good division. See you later in the week, and we'll talk about some of those deficiencies and how Matt Ryan has to play better this upcoming season.